Joe over here, Professor Eric over here. What's going on, guys? I think we're gonna visit the double ankle sweep a little bit here today and just kind of clean it up for you. We have a couple guys taking the purple belt test soon.
And it's on there?
Yep. And so we just wanted to be able to.
The other thing with this double ankle grab sweep is often we're like, oh, it's like a kid's move, it's a beginner move. But there's not really any beginner moves. And the other thing is that people keep that mentality, and then as they go through, the double ankle sweep they have has so many gaps in it. It's not useless, but it's way less high percentage. It's easy to counter it and overturn the position to where it becomes a scramble. Yeah, that's what I see a lot of times. People drop the double ankle grab sweep, and then both people are kind of getting up. So let's do it all.
Core mechanics, man. And that's a lot of just nailing it down to where it works well. So we'll start kind of from like the basic idea of here of like how I want to have my hips. So like if Joe's down here, this is a lot of what I think about. We're doing this for the guy in the bottom, but what the guy in the top can look for kind of correlates to what happens here. So if he's here and his hips are inside too deep, it's very easy for me to turn the femur, and you're going to get passed all the time here. Also, if his hips are above my hips, he doesn't have a lot of pull, and this also becomes very easy for me to pass. So we can't really have one or the other like straight away, because it's just going to give one of the other passes right off the bat if the guy is sharp on top.
P10s.
Yeah, P10. Nice.
Yeah.
Huh. I like that.
I call that.
I was like, wave hello, but Pete Townsend is a way better.
Remember our student Janessa?
Yeah.
She came up with it. I can't take credit. But I've stolen it ever since. Yeah, like so from here, and I'm kind of in, and he does the Pete Townsend. See, it's going to give him the heel. Because if he reaches back for the heel, then it's going to be, you just try to put your hand like this way.
This way here, this.
Well, that's still reaching back.
Yeah,
like, people will try to
put
this
it
way.
on the inside.
Yeah, that's like, it's never going to happen.
Yep. And so that's right off the bat. If I pinch my knee this way, and I feel like I can't get contact, that means your hip is above my hip, and it's easy to do the same exact thing without the femur control. So what we need something that's like the bounce in the middle here, right? So what I need to do...
Let's do it from close guard, too.
From close guard? Sure.
Yeah, I can see like what he's talking about is this is common, right? His guard is locked, and you follow the guy too long.
Yep.
Right? So like he hangs on. So now he's automatically above my hips because he didn't respond to the energy of release quick enough. So that's like another big thing that people do all the time.
Absolutely. And this will like come into play a lot more when somebody stands up like in an intelligent manner and like closes the distance. You know what I mean? Like if someone's standing up backwards, you're not going to be in this range. You're going to be able to put the feet on the hip.
Yeah.
But if he's doing a good job of bringing his body forwards, I can't put my feet on his hip at that point in time. So this is kind of where this comes in. So as I grab here, right here, I want to grab right. Don't want to grab here. Just like anything, I want to find the end of the stick here, and I want to bring these in, but I want to very gently. We're just going to talk about this. We'll break down the sections here, right? Is I want to jiggle my hips like that, so I don't give him one or the other. Kind of makes sense, guys? And you guys can just kind of rewatch that. But it's the same exact principle we were talking on. Gosh, what move were we doing the other day? We were using the
Guard passing?
The guard passing. Everything kind of works this way. Oh, that's right. The looking at the cards from the wrestling perspective. Same exact idea. So when we get here, we need to have that sort of understanding. Also, we were just talking about this. It becomes very difficult when we have a disattachment, right? Like if he's here and he does it, he can still do this right here, but it's hard to follow this up. And a lot of times when I feel, if I'm not attached to him, it's very tough. Yeah. But also it's very difficult because if he does it to me and I sneak this in, all of a sudden he's in a lot of trouble right here. So it's very difficult to do the double ankle sweep if someone's good when they're disattached, because you're always no connection and you're risking getting like the heel hook or the foot lock right there. So this more comes from if I'm here and he's standing up and I feel he stands up right here like this. Yep, he goes up and I feel he's connected to me here, right? So when he's connected, if I come here like this, I jiggle, and what I want to do is as I move, I'm going to do it really slow, I move and I catch. And see how I bring my body up? I want to bite the right knee, and I want to make him come over the calf right there.
Yep. So really, at the end, it should feel almost like you're doing a bump sweep.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of what I think of when people have really big problems with this, and then I start, you're not trying to pull yourself towards somebody as much as you're trying to catch them, right? Like I make you so when you fall, I don't want you coming back here. I want you just to sit. So if I make that my point first, the timing doesn't have to be as great on the bump sweep part. So I'm coming here, I catch, and I make you sit. Now I can readjust my hips.
Yeah, I think the main thing is, if you did it right there, is when you look at it like standing up in base, when the leg is folded and you go over it, there's no space.
Yeah.
What we see a lot happen is people execute the trip, the sweep, and then they sit up like they're squatting. And this gives you no base, and there's a ton of room there. Right? Just like when you do an arm bar, if you did an arm bar like this, there's a lot more room than if your leg is folded and you're bringing the...
One of the things I've been doing too lately is like, even if we just get to that point where you're sitting, you see that's the hardest part right here, right? I'm coming here, right? And we'll just break down the two parts right here. See, I'm grabbing to keep him sitting up. And so, actually, let's turn this way so you can see what my feet is doing. So what I like to do is see how I bite with one?
Yeah.
While the right foot comes, and this is going to make it easier when I walk to be very tight.
And high up in the middle.
Yeah, and so you're cutting at those two separate points as opposed to just like pushing with your hip to try to knock the person over the legs. Then you're like, that's kind of when people go like, oh, I got all that weight on my calf and it hurts, because you're just trying to bridge them at the point where they're not off balance. They should really be rotating over that calf, and so you should actually end up almost like 180.
Yeah, just
from
like
where you are. Yep.
Just like the bump sweep.
Yep, and that's those are just the basics on that, and it's just, and you can even watch like that's how Hickson does it. He jiggles those hips.
Yeah, that staccato rhythm is really important, because if you don't do that, like, let's say you do it static, and Eric might still be able to knock me over just because he's bigger.
Maybe, yeah.
But what happens, right, is you push statically, the guy drops his head. And then you try to do this overhead sweep, the guy goes back. So you just have this fight with the hips. But when he starts to shake his legs, I can't adjust to the right direction. And we've been over that principle before. But yeah, when you're having trouble, actually, man, that shaking, I think of it as staccato, like erratic
rhythm.
Yeah, you can throw off a lot of different things because it confuses the computer, the other person.
Striking is the same way. I mean,
you want to be like
adjust to your rhythm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anibal used to do one. If somebody tried to sweep him in crossbody, and he would shake his legs out. I do that still all the time.
Right.
Yeah, like if you're down, like if he gets a good like harpoon sweep on me, and I'm here, see if he rolls and I just go like a board, he's gonna roll me over. But sometimes a guy goes to sweep and you shake.
Yep, and so reset the hips back.
Yeah, and that like vibration is really hard to do.
Yeah, man.
And it's throwing your weight around a little bit too, so same concept here.
It's interesting because like sometimes I'll even do that like with the rhythm is just so important.
Yeah.
Where you, like when you have an understanding how your body's rhythm is, that sometimes you'll move it. I'll move it one rhythm, and then I'll change the rhythm with how I'm doing something. And even from the ground, it throws people off immensely because they're like, oh, he's moving like in this sort of timing. And we don't think about it even as like a white belt. You don't think about it in those terms, but your tactile feel is already acknowledging that change.
Yeah, even
like they get used to that. What the other person's responding to in a tactile sense, and then you're like, oh wait, he's moving differently, and the reactions that you get are going to be completely different, man.
All right, let me show the cheater way one time. Joe's cheating method. Okay,
Absolutely.
Here we go this way, because I'm good at the left. All right, so the guy stands up. You want to throw him. You're doing everything right. He falls, but you're a little unattached. So now what I'm going to do is see my foot. I'm going to sit on his femur. I'm still going to try to grab one of the arms, but now I'm just going to pull that leg around this way. And sometimes you can make up for the gap like that that's always going to be better to maintain that space than to try to go to like a squatting position.
Yep.
Because the gap is closed, right? And this works out really well because it's just like the mount when you block the leg from the hip escape. One more time. So if I can't follow him back when he sits, I can still put my foot here. And see, if he tries to hip escape out the door, I still have that foot can even monitor that leg.
Absolutely.
I'm not in as great a position. I don't usually get to the high mount where the elbows are up here, but I still complete the pass and they don't get a hand on my leg. Whereas if we do it horribly, here, I'll go this time. So we gotta reach for my left. One. If I go like this,
There's just so much space.
yeah, that's it. You know, a lot of people just stop you by just putting their arm out because you didn't take up the space.
100%, man.
Anyway, I think those are good details.
Yeah, definitely, man. No, that's great, guys. That's great. Like I said, just things to keep in mind. Make things way more fun. Like when you can start thinking about rhythm and things like that. Because you can see, I mean, put a bunch of put probably like something called like the Ninja Super Special Show.
Yeah.
And get like 10,000 views, but it would be junk.
Yeah.
It would be junk. And it's way more important to like polish those ones.
Well, what do you do when you get in this position too? Is when you're learning it. Oh, I'm gonna try as hard as I can to knock this guy over,
Oh my God.
and not even give him a chance, right? And then you have no attachment. You can't follow it up to the mount, so there's the scramble.
Yeah.
It is more fun. I'm telling you this from experience. Let the guy counter. Let him have the first counter. Let him try to like drop his head, and then start the shaking.
Yep.
And you're still going to be able to complete the sweep, but you're going to be much better off. And you're going to have this kind of new thought process where, hey, buddy, go ahead and defend it, but I'm still going to get what I want.
Yep.
Without trying half as hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Oh, great stuff, guys. Great stuff. Yeah. So like this has been the double ankle sweep, and like I said, this will be on the purple belt test for any of our students. This
Anybody
is stuff
under
that you,
Master Pager Style?
Master Pager Style, you're going to have to know this material. So it's just.
All right, Warriors. Man, thanks for watching.
Yep.
If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below.
100%.
Or any martial arts question, any move you want to see, any technique. You saw this thing in a movie, you want us to try to replicate it or debug it. Whatever you got, we'd love to hear it. Appreciate y'all out there. Thanks for watching.
Warriors out.